I'm architect Avinash Ankalge, project architect at Rohan Viti, which is by Rohan Builders. This is placed at a place called Wakad, which is again a close vicinity from the Pune-Bangalore highway. This site is around 0.8 acres, and which is like a very linear kind of a site, which has a longer dimensions of 126 meters and the wider dimensions of 26 meters. And it has a east-facing main entry road, which becomes the approach to the site. And again, the north and south faces becomes the linear dimensions of the site. There are total 93 apartments within this entire residential complex, and all around the peripheral as a setback we have like a driveway. We have like then again 3 entry cores as a service cores where the lift and staircase lobbies are connected. So from the east side, when you approach to the plot, so you have an entry as a entry ramp, and then you continually along the setback you drive through, and you can actually park your car along the driveway, and there is a continuous loop along the setback, and along the north axis you get down to the ramp, and again you exit to the east road towards this point. There are like total 3 wings, which has like a mix of 2 and 3 BHK residential types. Because of the narrow site condition, the arrangement of the units is placed in such a way that no apartment looks into each other. So the element of privacy is maintained throughout the residential complex. While designing this long and linear residential complex, we can't have that open courtyards or open gardens within the ground floor, because there is a challenge of parking and how that parking has to be segregated within the floors. So we thought, instead of having everything on the ground floor, why can't we just use that idea of a ground plane at a higher level? And then we were started asking questions about how a community living used to happen in the vernacular settings, where the entire house or an entire street opens into the chowks and plazas, which used to become like a very community gathering place. So all the festivities, all gatherings used to happen within that entire stretch. So how to bring that community shared public living for the 93 families at the higher level, which will be around 120 feet from the ground level itself. And again, that element of sky as a roof, we were thinking how to integrate that within that a residential complex where we don't have much as a ground surface, but the same place can be lifted at a higher level, which can become like a sky deck kind of a idea. So the sky we consider as a roof. That's why all these amenity spaces like gymnasium, cafeterias and all this swimming pool becomes part of that sky. Again, these are not placed next to each other. What we tried is like, we tried creating these transitions where like when you are climbing to the amphitheater, you come to the semi-open space like a veranda. And again, after a point you walk across, then you are in an open to sky space. So all these transitions of open to sky, open and semi-covered spaces becomes a transitory point within that complete sky deck, which again the sky you experience in a different way, where sometimes it's covered, sometimes it is semi-covered, and that play of light and shade keeps changing as you move across to that sky deck completely. The way we experience at the ground, we always are surrounded by all these units and some kind of amenity or a corridor or some kind of a barrier, no? So that is not there now, because you are almost at a higher level and you are almost in a part of a sky, and from that sky deck you can actually get a view of the city. And during the night it becomes very nice, where you are under the open stars and you are in a water, no? So that becomes like a very different set of experience, and that happens only when you are at a higher level.
Mostly the amenities area, which is located on the 10th floor, and these include mainly the swimming pool, gymnasium, semi-open and open meeting spaces, toddlers play area, various activity areas, as well as these entertainment zones. That's kind of the whole 10 floors. 9 till 9th floor we have that, and the entire ground cover is kind of parking and the driveway. So when we come to the 10th or the amenity floor, so we have the swimming pool on the wing B. Wing C is kind of attaching there, and that's kind of becomes the amphitheater and the yoga deck on the top. The central portion has a gym, and each of these has a varied volumes, which kind of, the swimming pool is at 5 feet height, the amphitheater is at 8 feet height, and the yoga terrace is at 10. And on the wing A side is all the conference rooms, the meeting spaces, the toddlers play area. All those are on that side. And each of these roofs are kind of designed in having like pergola on top, or kind of open to sky, or kind of covered roofs for the gym and enclosed spaces. The yoga terrace is kind of designed in such a way that you are enclosed within the landscape, so that you are kind of part of the nature while you are doing your yoga or the morning routines. Even the swimming pool and other amenities are such that each of these kind of spill over to that, and are kind of, you are well within the natural environment when you are in these amenities places. Mostly the edges are kind of the buffer to each of these amenities. So the pool again is screened. The pool and gym are kind of close by, but again have a landscape as a barrier between the two, so that the privacy is maintained within these amenities. But it kind of all kind of overlooks into each other as well, as in it spills over to each other. But landscape is mostly used as a barrier or a visual barrier between the two amenities.
The vertical fins on the north and south side elevations, which are like shading devices, which are formed due to the conditions of the climate. These fins are made up of like sheer concrete walls, which again derives the structural part of the entire system, which goes to the ground and the basement, and they become part of the structural system of the project. All units are designed taking at the principles of plus homes, which are essential for living, which are light, ventilation, privacy, and space. The name of this project, Rohan Viti, has well derived from the using of the natural light to the entire building wherever possible to the extent, as Viti means light.